Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
And I mean, again, it is the hot heat and humidity. I think that maybe the temperature is going to go down a little bit, then go back up. This has been a weird summer, and there's been so many highs and lows already. The Guardians are kind of like the example of highs and lows in the sports world, if we're going to look at it this way, and going to title our show this way.
Weekend was they were about the only thing that cooled off.
Yeah, and so many Boston fans are in town. You guys know how I feel about Boston fans. If you're
They can get back in their car and get the link out of here.
Well, and Boston fans travel well, and then you bookend your 2 weekends, especially going into a holiday weekend like next weekend. Now you got to have Yankees fans in town for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know they're going to buy up all the tickets because guess what? The fans that jumped on the bandwagon of the Guardians and went to these last 3 games, they're going to think that they're not so good. They haven't actually paid attention like they say they have, and know that this team does go through a roller coaster of a season, and when they get down or they lose a few games in a row, they somehow find a way under Terry Francona to come back with a vengeance. It's a young team, maybe reading their press clippings a little bit. You go 7-2 on a road trip, a very tough road trip, by the way. You beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3. You beat the Minnesota Twins, who you need to beat 2 out of 3, but you come home and you lose the series to Boston in 3 straight. Plus, you lost the last one to Minnesota. So it doesn't feel very good right now. Very quickly, after a 4-game losing streak, this series against Minnesota is crucial right now for the Guardians to keep the momentum that they have flowing. You know it's not going to go as easily as 7-2 on a road trip or winning 18 of their last 19 or
no one wins all their series.
No.
Like that's rare. I mean, maybe the Yankees are doing it this year, but screw them and they're giant payroll. So as young as this team is, there's AAA teams that are older than our average team age. They're doing very well. Like right now I got no complaints. You lost the series. You bounce back and you win the series against Minnesota, you're right back in first place where you should be. But you said something, Kevin, that bothered me about this team. They do it all the time. Every single time we start getting people's interest. All right, let's go. Let's get everyone down there. They pack the stadium. You blow it. If you want people in the stadium when they're there, you got to win.
This is why this show works so well. Because I was thinking the exact same thing. That was the next point I was going to bring up. Because you said that they're doing very well, we can't really criticize them. I was going to say, to keep things in perspective, and we try to do that on this show, in reality, the only issue that I ever take with the Guardians, the Cleveland baseball organization, when they were the Indians, now to the Guardians, it's kind of the same thing. We never know what their message is, what their approach is to the season. Then we feel like they want to compete, but they're bringing all these young guys up. Oh, well, they're having success. Why? Well, again, you got one of the best managers in the history of the game of baseball at the helm and getting these young guys to play. Well, kind of saw it earlier this year. Stephen Kwan was like the highlight of the first 2 series on the road. I think wherever they were, Kansas City and somewhere else. Then he's getting interviewed, and he's trying to do too much when he gets at home. When the fans are chanting Quan, I think it was the people were trying to do it as like the Mighty Ducks chant, like quack,
Quack,
quack. It was Quan, 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 and everybody was excited at the home opener. I was there, and throughout those series, and he struggled because he's trying to do too much. These guys are on the road; they don't have that noise around them. They're going into someone else's stadium. They don't have the local radio talking about them and the fans kind of getting up about it. You come home, again, you may have read the press clippings a little bit. You got too amped up. And I get it. They want to play for this city. It's a lot of guys like Jose. Jose is the leader of this team. You saw him when he was kind of hurt in LA. He was the biggest cheerleader in the dugout. And they kind of follow his lead. Guess what? He signed a team-friendly deal. And I put team-friendly in quotations if you're just listening on the audio part. Because he just wanted to play here in Cleveland. He enjoys doing that. I think a lot of these young guys do, and they like what this organization has built around them and allow them to do when they go out there and play a child's game for money. don't try to do too much. Just stay being that team. It doesn't matter if the stadium's full or not.
And they will. I
Right.
mean, you got the guy in
Right.
charge, the perfect guy in Tito. He'll get those guys on track for sure.
And it sounds like I'm like hounding on them or negative on them. It's just, again, highs and lows of a baseball season, and especially when you got one of the youngest teams, if not the youngest team in the majors.
It's going to be a roller coaster ride the whole season.
It is.
You're just hoping for more ups than more downs.
And honestly, I'm kind of hoping for more like plateaus. When you kind of have a big high, I'm kind of looking for more plateaus than I am lows, because you kind of need to balance out a little bit. You're going to win a couple, lose a couple, win a couple, lose a couple. Then if you can get back to getting on a win streak instead of going on a long losing streak, that's what builds a contending team and not a team that's just fighting for that last playoff spot. And I mean, if that's what this team is doing, then that's probably more than we ever thought this team would do this season. It's just you get a taste. Those young guys, they want more of it. They got a taste of what winning and success feels like. You know they want more of it. Go find it. If you got to plateau for a little bit to go find it again, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with the, Millennium Force, I'm at the top of the hill, then I'm all the way down at the bottom, like not knowing what's coming next and that type of thing. So it's a tough ride, but hey, it's still a fun team. So if people are jumping off just because of these 3 games at home that they didn't come through with big crowds, those aren't the real fans. The real fans are the ones that go through any mode that they can to watch the team, whether it's on the Bally Sports or it's on any.
Did you know I was watching this game today?
On a crack stream?
No.
Oh.
So ESPN has the Gamecast where you can watch, and it has like the little scoreboard and says each ball and tells you play by play. I almost watched the entire game on my phone like that today.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Bally's.
You know how I've watched the last few games? Like I haven't been around to. I've kind of like listened on the radio as we've been traveling around. We were down with the in-laws this weekend, so was listening more on the radio. But those road games, I was on the MLB app on the game day section, like watching that, hoping that the person scoring the game is actually putting the pitch in, and I'm not getting the notifications before it actually happens. That type of thing. That's how I'm watching it. I'm watching just a stationary person, and just if you're just listening,
same thing.
I'm just basically sitting in my chair acting like a stationary picture of a batter with imaginary baseballs being thrown through a strike zone or around a strike zone, and each pitch being kind of carded electronically by the score. Like that's how I have to see this team play.
Here's a complaint. Sorry, I'm just way off subject. Stop asking the Indians to trade for a catcher. Because Guardians. Pudge Rodriguez is not out there. Mike Piazza. There is like the hitting and catching catchers. They're just not out there.
Not there.
Like it's
not
so rare. Like there's maybe 1 or 2 in the whole league, and everyone's like, "We need to get rid of Austin Hedges. We need to get like, dude, he ain't going nowhere. So stop complaining about the guy. He's a great defensive catcher. He can call a game. Can he hit? No, not really. But he's doing what he's supposed to do. A catcher's job is so much more than hitting. He has to call the entire game. He is the general of the field when he's out there. Yeah. He's doing his job. So get off my guy's back. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
I want him to hit more.
I mean, I will say that I do get kind of shocked when I see like Austin Hedges hit something to score, have a run score. Like he actually put a bat on a ball.
I kind of relate his hitting to when Eric Snow would make jumpers.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, this guy's here. He's got here to control the game, play tough defense. Yeah. He's not going to score, but when he does, you're like, all right, here we go. We got to like it's like extra.
We got a plus out of the deal. This organization has shown that they're more about the defensive catcher than the hitting catcher. I want more length in the lineup in terms of more consistency out of your outfielders. And when you just have...
And our DH, Frammel's got to pick it up, man.
Yeah. It's got to be more consistent with your top guys that you are counting on the lineup to make it easier on the guys lower in the lineup, because now they're going to get pitches to hit. Because you don't want to face the guys at the top, then you're going to have to face the ones at the bottom. You're going to have to attack them, and they'll make you pay when you do.
And if they want to stay up here, because they're getting a great opportunity, you want to stay, you got to start hitting. Otherwise, they're going to make a trade, and they're going to get someone in here to do your job.